Listen up.
It's the number one voice of the tri-state. I'm number one. It's Cooking Up 215. So let the show begin.
Turn me up.
Y'all already know who it is. It's your boy Smooth.
It's your girl Amber Grand.
And this is Cooking Up 215, where we get you up close and personal with your favorite artists, entrepreneurs, shakers, and move makers. And today's guest, we have none other than Herman Dolce.
I appreciate you guys. Thank you for having me.
The credit guy himself.
That's alleged, but I appreciate that.
You major out here, man. When it come to, anybody moving and shaking, when they suggest somebody to help, get that business credit.
Yeah, get that fund.
First name they say is Haitian CEO.
We funding the dreams.
Absolutely. We funding everybody's dreams.
We funding everybody's dreams. Absolutely, bro.
That is crazy.
Man, thank you so much. It's
Give
a
them a
pleasure.
follow. They quick to put it out
Listen, I send them an invoice every time. I was like, they pull out them platinums. They made me look good out here in these streets.
They pull out the titanium cards. Like,
Yeah.
Herm get you right. I said, yeah, I got to get with Herm.
I appreciate that.
I ain't got my
Thank
10K ready yet. You gonna get there.
100%.
You gonna get there.
Absolutely, man.
So, you are the owner and CEO of Bella Sloan Enterprises?
Bella Sloan Enterprises, yeah.
Right.
Named it after my firstborn daughter. Shout out to Bella.
Right. You started that about 2017?
2017, yeah. So I've been in business for a while, but that LLC I started when my wife told me she was gonna have a baby. I was like, well, it's always the legacy play. So I made the LLC after her name. Mm-hmm. Same thing with Olivia Monroe, made an LLC with her name too. Mm. So when they 18 and they old enough,
the kids something.
We're gonna give the kids something, exactly.
That's dope. So what made you make that transition to go from having a 9 to 5? I know you went to college, got degrees. Made you make that transition, like, I need to work for self?
Chasing freedom, right?
Okay.
So some people think money is a certain thing, but I think money is a tool to give me freedom. So when Janelle got pregnant, we was on a baby moon going to Italy. That's like the last trip you take before your life changes forever. So she took me to Italy for my baby moon. It was a really dope trip, but I remember that I had to ask somebody for permission to take that time off. I only had 2 weeks vacation and I used all of it because you can't take a weekend in Italy, right? And we was on a train ride going to Pisa. I saw my pregnant wife and I was like, I want to be able to do this whenever I want. And then that's what my brother told me, and I told him about my concerns. That's when he told me, listen, unless you own your own, you'll never be free. So he's like, stop fixing people credit for free, stop giving out that game for free. They're gonna pay somebody, they might as well pay you. And when I got back home, that's when I knew what I was gonna do with Bella Sloan Enterprises. And boom, and the rest is history.
Here we are now.
Yeah.
Man, that's wonderful.
So that was like my first big bag. It was like 10,000. Right? And that was just for me working for 4 hours.
One pop. Wow.
One pop, right? And I was like, wow, this is nice. And then I did it again the following month, another 10. Then I did it again, then it was another 10. I was like, wait a minute, remember what I said? I was just saving all this money.
Right.
Because my main job was paying my bills or whatever. I wasn't going to ball out. So I was like, okay, this is nice then. And Quadir hit me up. He's like, bro, we should do something together. I was like, all right, bet, let's do something together. We had a class and we did $100,000 in a day.
Wow.
And I remember when I handed my mentee, I handed him 50. That was crazy.
That's super crazy.
He remembers that day.
I know he do.
I know he remember. He called me, he's like, Herm, we just really bust down 100 in a day. He was like, yeah, that's crazy. It's up from here.
All through the class.
All through the class, all from giving information, all from understanding and learning credit or whatever. And those people, they went on and did amazing things. There's people that was in that class when it was just 3,000 followers. You know what I'm saying? That was the beginning. This before pandemic, where people was showing up to classes all the time.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And then pandemic happened and smart people know how to pivot your business. You have to know how to move. And then we took it online and it went crazy from there.
Pandemic forced people to learn how to pivot.
Yeah.
Some people never thought things would go this way, and then you looking under the couch trying to figure things out that you never knew you had to figure out. But
exactly.
It definitely opened up lanes for people.
Yeah.
It definitely gave the whole online thing a whole new meaning. You know what I mean? Where you was able to take your business straight virtual.
Right.
No more having to do everything in person. Right.
You
so now you
better
everywhere at the same time.
Was it better? It was 100 times better.
Wow.
So a couple of things happened. So number one, it made me change my business model. So I became a better CEO, became a better entrepreneur, right? Because it taught me how to shift and learn how to move differently. Because you got to remember, I was doing 10,000 a month, and I was good, right? And then pandemic shut that down. I was having it was the first time I was having something called the Blueprint Summit, right? I was having at my alma mater, Temple University, rented out Minton Hall, gave them the check for 4 bands. I was like, yo, I know I'm gonna do it big. So if I know I could make 10 in a little hotel room, let me go to Temple, I'm gonna do it big. We had a budget. Shout out to Lauren, my director who plans all my events. And the world shut down. And I was like, yo, they got my deposit. I make 10 bands a month off of this. I was thinking I was gonna do 25 in a day. Right. And I'm like, yo, I'm shook.
And that was all
I remember you gotta audit your circle. So my team around me is like, yo, we can do this online. I'm like, man, online, no, it's not the same.
Ain't gonna work.
We gonna have a DJ, that joint's gonna be lit. Right?
Like, can't get lit online.
Lights can't get lit online. So we just saw my Kyrie earlier, so shout out to Kyrie and his team. And we did it online. We dropped the ticket prices to 200 tickets. And here's what I wasn't thinking. When you're online, it's unlimited people that could show up.
Right.
You got a virtual space.
You got a virtual situation.
Right.
So 500 tickets later, replay selling. If you missed it, the replay was $99. And then I was like, oh snap. So now more people saw me than before. Right. Because right now I was just in a room in Philly and just the 200 people showed up, or the 200 people that knew me. But now 500 people showed up for a class, and their 500 people are gonna do what? Tell their friends and family.
They're gonna tell at least one.
And then
person.
It just went crazy after that. It just went absolutely crazy after that. And now I took that money, I was able to invest more so into the business. I hired my assistant. I hired somebody to take over the credit repair department. I hired virtual assistants. I was able to invest back into the business. And when you invest back into your business and yourself properly, you don't double, you don't triple, you 10x from there. Because when I hired Damaris, right, to start to take over the day-to-day operations of the business, my mind was free now, because I'm not answering emails, I'm not answering phone calls anymore. My mind was free to open up to other things that I can do to start opening up the business. So that's when the mentorship started every month. And then when we first started that, it was like $1,000 for somebody to come on there. So I went from charging $200 for one day, so now it was $1,000 for a 30-day mentorship. And you know, that first class, it was like 20 people. The next month it was 30, then it was 50, then it was 100, then it was over. Then Damaris was like, yo, she's like, there's too many people in the class, you're not charging enough. I was like, well, we making a bag. She's like, nah, it's too many people, raise the price. Wow. Yeah, Marcus, him 500, he's like, yo, raise the price, it's not enough. I was like, no, I'm cool. You need people around you to make you uncomfortable. Right? Because when you comfortable, it's not a good space. Right. So he's like, yo, raise the price. So I raised the price to 15 for 1 month. Same people coming in. Damaris is like, yo, I told you before 2,000. So we raised it up to 2,000. And it went up to 3,000, right? And as you level up, you get better quality people too. Right. Because there's a different person. Shout out to my people that came in at 1,000 though. Right. But there's different people that pay 1,000 than different people that pay 3,000.
Yeah, you got to have a different kind of commitment when you commit more money.
Oh yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
The
you
more
got
money
more
you commit,
skin in the game.
You press and play. You reading the books. You reviewing the material. Yeah. Like you really doing it.
You're not about to waste this.
Now a one-on-one with me is 10K. And I had a client. He came in to Philly. He spent a day with me. Right. Spent the 10K. Just posted his results. He did 250,000 in funding on himself. Because I showed him exactly what to do, exactly what to say.
I actually been telling people that, man. I've been like, you know, I got a couple friends and family that's, you know, they're doing different things, box trucks and everything like that. And of course, credit is king. So I always tell people, man, give a Haitian CEO. He got him like 10K, but he promising 150 business. Like you can't beat that.
And here's what's crazy about my man Danny. Shout out to Danny. He got himself 250,000 in 30 days after he left me. He went and ran. I just gave him the blueprint. He ran with it, right? Here's what's lit about that, because now that he knows how to do it, he can teach other people how to do it, and he could charge them a success fee. So say for instance, he got somebody else that 250, and you charge him 10% commission. You just made yourself 25 bands. I just showed you how to fish.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And now that you know how to fish, like you good.
Wow. And you got people like that, just like the Dare, like we mentioned
Quadier's
already.
another,
like when you put people,
Quadier gone, bro. Quadier
he's out.
Shout out to all my mentees that just took that game and they ran with it and they pivoted and I love when a lot of my mentees they add their own thing to it and then they're like, whew, they gone. And sometimes I'm the teacher, you know, I'm the student. I'm like, damn, that's pretty good. What you do? There's a couple of mentees, and you know, these gurus, they're not gonna tell the truth. There's a couple of mentees. I was like, yo, let me book a consultation with you. Like, they done heard stop playing. I was like, no, send me the Cash App. I'm gonna send my team to show up to that Zoom call because we ain't doing that. So you gotta show us how to do that.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
100%.
So 2018, you wrote a book, Startup.
Right.
The Insider to Building Business Credit.
Right.
How did that help you or propel you into your position now?
So to be honest, when I first did it, I was working with a company called Credit Suite and a gentleman called Ty Crandall, and he was like, the book is a good marketing situation. And I was like, what? He's like, yes. He's like, because he gave me a different mindset. Definitely people write books to make money, right?
Right.
But he's like, get the book so it'll be a good marketing situation. So what looks better, right? Yo, not shout out, but let's introduce Herman Dolce, Haitian CEO, author of, right? And I was like, yo, that does sound good because it makes you seem like you're an authority in your situation. So he's like, get that book because it's gonna be part of your intro. And I was like, oh, that's lit. So right now, I know we're gonna talk about things later. I wrote 2 more books because it worked because it makes me look more legitimate. And you know, like I put the book on Amazon. Amazon prints it for me for like $2. I sell it for 10. But like if I'm going somewhere, I get like 10 books with me and I pass them out.
You got books, yeah.
You know what I mean? They're like, yo, you got a book?
It pushes you out. It
gives me the extra boost over somebody else in the space because this space is flooded. I'm not the only person.
Right.
But it gives me an extra boost. Like, damn, he been doing this for a little bit. He knows what he's doing.
Enough to write
he got a book. And he like, hey, sign here. And I'm like, yeah, I got you.
You feel different once you be in the autograph those books.
Autograph books, exactly.
Yeah.
So it's lit.
That's super crazy. And then 2019, you did the Millionaire Tour. And you did, I guess, is that when you met him 500?
Wow. You did your research. You did a little homework.
You know?
So, yeah. So when you... And to all my entrepreneurs out there, when you are trying to come up, right? The cheat code is getting a mentor, right? That's how you jump the line. That's how you don't have to make mistakes anymore. I'll give a side story. So there's this property in Philly I wanted to buy, right? On Uber Street, I'll never forget it. It was a great deal. 3-story, framed up already. It even had the sprinkler system in there already. Sprinkler system is $30,000. Right? So I'm glad that it was already in there.
It was already in there, yeah.
Right? It's on Temple University campus. I'm like, bet. So I call up my mans because this is the first multifamily project I was gonna do, right? Because I've done a couple of things in real estate. So I called my mans and he was like, all right, well, you know, I'm doing some projects here. So you want me to stop making money to come teach you how to make money for free? I was like, bro, I Cash App you to 500. Can you just show up real quick?
Right.
So he shows up, he was there 2 minutes. He's like, no. I was like, bro, like you see the numbers, you see the ARV, like you see what I'm gonna buy it for. He's like, no, it's a bad deal. And I'm like, why? The 2x4s, I don't know what contractor, they had flat on the wall like this instead of like this, right? So he is like, all the framing has to come down. He has to rip it all out. It's not gonna pass coding, right?
That's probably what it was.
Reframing would have cost me 25 bands, right? So that 500 I gave him, and then we went out to lunch and we built and we talked. That 500 I gave him saved me time, money, and a headache. And I learned something new for the next project I had.
Now you won't make that mistake.
So now that I won't make that mistake. So mentorship takes you to the front of the line. So back to your question. So yeah, it was like 2018, 2019. I met Marcus, somebody put me on to him. They was like, yo, you in the credit space, you're in the entrepreneur space, you should really tap into his mentorship. His mentorship was 25 at the time. Paid that mentorship. I learned just so much. So much things I wasn't doing with my business, structuring my business properly, how to get clients, things like this, because it was just hand to mouth. I post some things on Instagram and then people show up. But Instagram could shut off tomorrow. Right? And then all your bread is gone. What are you gonna do?
What?
And then what? How you get customers, customer acquisitions, how do you run your ads, things like this. He taught me that, and that 10x my business also. You know, so he helped me grow and I watched him grow because at that conference, he had like 100 people there. Right? And now Marcus is having conferences with 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 people.
Major.
He's trying to do, he will do Madison Square Garden next year. So it's gonna be wild. He did Vegas on Memorial Day weekend. That was wild.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's like 5,000 people show up to Vegas.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You get Magic Johnson. And I was there at his first one where it was just 100 of us in a room.
Right. That's what I was about to say. You could really, like, y'all grew together.
Yeah, definitely.
And even then, he was able to give you some knowledge.
Yeah.
And then So it's always said that getting a mentor, like you said, is that key, is that thing that help elevate you,
Yeah,
get you
it's a shortcut to
that
success.
inside knowledge, right? So in a world where so many people are, I guess, detached, like nobody's really outside the same way they used to be. Everybody's running their business. Like, how do you find a mentor? Like, if I was out there or somebody watching this looking for a mentor, how would they go about getting a mentorship?
How do you find a mentor right now? So you got to be in the room, right? So how do you get in the room? Stop hanging with your homies all the time. Go be somewhere totally different where you think successful people are. So a lot of my best deals I found sitting at Ritz-Carlton downtown. I'm at the bar, I'm getting a restaurant. Somebody asks me what I do, right?
Yeah.
Or I go to networking events, or I go to conferences.
Right.
I go to places where like-minded people are to me, right? And then they're there, they pay the same ticket I paid to get in here. So they're on some stuff and I'm on some stuff, and let's do some collab. So shout out to my man Stormy and Ash Cash. They did a conference, Path to Prosperity, a couple of weeks ago. And my man had his conference. I paid a VIP ticket price. He like, Herm, you need to buy the ticket? Nah, you my mans. I'm gonna pay the ticket. So I paid the ticket to be in the VIP situation, right? So we had the VIP lunch, and my guy Carter Cofield, he's sitting across from me. He's like, bro, how the VIP day going? I'm like, oh, it's going really good. It's really dope. So these two people are sitting next to me, and they're like, what's your VIP day? What's that? I sent them each the link. So they're sitting next to me. I'm eating my salad, right? And out of here, bing, bing. They both bought my 10K products sitting at that table.
Wow.
Just sitting right there.
Sitting right there. But where am I? I'm in a VIP room.
Right.
They paid access to be in a room like that.
So you got to go where like-minded folks.
You got to go where like-minded people are.
That's crazy.
And they paid the VIP day, and they both up right now.
Right.
So I've done the same thing where I've gone to conferences, and I'm like, what do you do? And I'm like, oh, how much is that? Because I got to invest in myself to take me to the next level. So my VIP day, right? Shout out to my girl Atia. She put me in contact with, because she's like-minded like me, so we always do lunch or whatever. We sit down, we build, we talk. And I asked her, I was like, yo, how'd you get here? Because she had a great mentorship program. Her business is really solid. She's like, listen, I'm just gonna give you the phone number. Just buy the product, just do it. So she connected me with an amazing human being, Dr. Darnielle. Me and Damaris, we drove down to Maryland, and we did her VIP day, right? Didn't know it was a VIP day, but she taught me so much about my business, carried crazy. It was 20 bands for that, right? And I paid it. And now I'm doing VIP days, right? And she'd be the first to tell you 10 is not enough, right? She say that all the time. But she showed me how to make, how to do VIP days, how to charge, how to close clients. And Damaris is there, right? So I don't gotta close, because Damaris learned how to close from that mentorship that we took, and we paid 20 bands for it. Right. So people are calling in, because the leads come in hot, they want it. Right? I don't gotta call people, hey, you wanna spend 10,000?
They
Look at me like I'm crazy. They already
come
coming to me. And Damaris knows how to close it. And then we posting receipts all the time. So it's a no-brainer. But I had to pay for access to that information, get a mentor to put me in position.
Okay. Yeah, that's crazy. Because even like me, myself, it's like I'm somewhat new in the podcast space, video space. And it's like, oh, you need to find somebody that's doing what you do. Like, how do I find somebody that's doing what I do? The dudes that do what I do, you got Wallow and Gilly. Now, how I'm gonna get under those guys?
Mentorships,
I can't get. So it's so hard sometimes to think like, damn, so now how do I manage this space? You know what I mean? How do I find my leg up and find my person that can help me avoid those mistakes and everything like that? Yeah, or give me the knowledge. So I've definitely been like meeting people and everything like that. But I feel like that's something that's not expressed or talked about enough.
Right.
And I guess like people do sell them, but from the outside looking in, you always like, am I just spending money and then he just sits me off to the side to go watch videos, or is he truly going to guide me to the bag?
I'm glad you said that, right? So it is important, because there's a lot of scammers out there. Right. And as far as I'm concerned, Haitian CEO could be another one of them, right? That's why it's really important for me, right? This is where Success Has Receipts came from. Who else have you helped? Right. Who else can I DM? Right. Who else is gonna show me some proof? Because I'll pay. Right. I'll pay for it. But here's the crazy thing though, bro. I went to Temple. I paid Temple 40 bands and they never showed me a receipt.
Right.
People pay Harvard $100,000, right?
All the time.
Harvard never showed them a receipt, right? But they pay it anyway, right? So we have to talk about that, how we do that to our own. But anyway,
That's big
so
facts.
I gotta ensure that I have receipts to show people. I'll tag my success stories. No, you don't need to believe me. Go in their DMs. I don't need to prove nothing to you. Go talk to them, right? I'm not. My page is open. You can go in the comments and people like, yo, Herman lit. Herman's legit. I got X amount of money. So go on that person's name and you find out. So same thing in your space. You can go on YouTube and you could find people like good YouTube trips, good podcast tips,
Right.
And you'll go down the rabbit hole, right? That's how I went down the rabbit hole of finding mentors or learning new information or finding conferences because I went in, I did the work. I found the research. I saw the receipts, right? I saw enough receipts because we get caught up with Corvettes and jewelry. And we get that person that money. No, clown. The course you just bought him his jewelry.
Right.
He's not really doing that in real life. You know what I'm saying?
You're
So
keeping him iced out.
you keeping him iced out. So you want to go see his receipts. Go talk to the people that he's helped. Because there's a lot of free information out there that can get you to a certain level. But after that, there's a paywall. You got to pay for access.
You got to get to that point where you start investing
right.
into your situation. Because that's one of the hardest things, man. You don't want to feel like you got God. You know what I mean?
Right. It's
Nobody
a terrible
wants
feeling.
that, right? So I think.
But listen, I've gotten got. I've gotten got 6 figures. I've gotten got. Wow. You know what I call it? Tuition.
You pay to learn.
I paid to learn. I put School of Hard Life. It was my tuition. I learned the lesson. Right. So now that lesson, I'm gonna tell my mentees, listen, let me tell you how I got. I didn't have a contract. I shook the bull hand and I thought it was cool. No, I didn't go to receipts. I didn't ask anybody else. I didn't check out his website. I didn't do my research on him. So now I did my research on who, what, where.
Right.
Oh, you can talk to my attorney. You know what I'm saying? Your attorney, when they give you the eye like that, cut them off immediately. A real legit person would be like, okay, great.
No problem.
No problem.
Yeah. So have you had situations like that? Like where the L you took, it was a real situation? Like
oh yeah, bro.
Paid for classes?
Yeah.
What was the worst one that you went through?
It was like a $50,000 L. Yeah. That one hurt cause, you know what I mean? I put nah guys, we good. This is a good play. Yeah. So we all went in together. So I took the biggest L, but the team took an L too. Right. That's the worst part. And that was the worst part because I led them to that and they trusted me. Right. So moving forward, I had to ensure that I protect the people, not only myself, but the people around me also. Because there's certain L's I can take that you can't. Right. So when people ask me, what can I invest in? I tell them, yo, invest in yourself. Like put that money in yourself. Don't ask me because there's certain things I invest in. If I take an L, I'll be all right tomorrow. I can eat that. Yeah. I can eat that. You can't. Right. Because you probably giving the worst feeling. Right. That's the worst feeling. I let you down. Right. Right. So I don't want that to happen. So I know we want to get into the food. I wanted to ask you one thing about your past. I feel like it's a major thing. Okay. The TEDx. Okay. The TEDx talk. Yeah. How was it doing the TEDx and how did that even happen? How did that come about? That's a good story. That was last October, scariest day of my life. So I remember when I got the opportunity to do it. First of all, I couldn't do it. I couldn't believe it. I was like, TEDx, who, me? You sure? Right. I got like 15 followers. What you talking about? So, I mean, sometimes you just don't believe in yourself, but other people gotta believe in you. So it's always like that way. You never see it when you're the one in the seat. When you're in that seat. So I knew it was a big deal, but I didn't think it was that big of a deal, right? So went to Atlanta, and I had a speech ready, right? And I had like my PowerPoint ready and everything. Damaris was with me. She proofread it. And I was like, all right, cool, I'm ready. And then all my friends and family, 83 people showed up. And they surprised me in Atlanta like the next day after I landed. Right, so that made me even more nervous. I was like, what are y'all doing? It's like, bro, this is TEDx, we here, this is a big deal. Right. And I'm like, oh shit. So like, I'm really feeling nervous, right? I really do this, yeah. So I got the speech ready and she proofread it. This is the day before TEDx, right? We got into a terrible, there was a terrible car accident, like people died in the accident. We were stuck on the traffic. We stuck on traffic the night before. So I'm literally sitting in the back of a Suburban in the third row, looking up. I'm like, damn, I should have stayed home. I should have stayed in the hotel. I got a TEDx talk tomorrow and I'm stuck back here. But in my mind, I started planting seeds of doubt. I was like, the speech not good enough. That joint ass, right? So I'm just thinking to myself. So we ended up finally getting out the car accident situation. We get back to the hotel like 5 a.m. I was sitting there for 5 hours in the accident.
Damn.
Yeah, so I slept it. I couldn't sleep. I woke up the next day and I'm looking at the PowerPoint. And I'm like, this ain't it. And I called Damaris. I'm like, Damaris, this is not the speech. She's like, you crazy. I'm like, no, God is telling me this ain't it. I don't even remember what it was. It was just ass, right? I just know this wasn't the TED Talk.
So you nicked the original speech?
I nicked the original speech. I'm talking about the speech is in 3 hours.
Wow.
And you starting from scratch.
Suburban picks me up. I'm in the thing driving there, and Damaris is like, we're doing that speech. She's like, I worked on that PowerPoint for 2 hours proofreading that because you can't read and write, Herman. Right? So we get there, and I'm like, this ain't it. An hour before the speech, I'm like, that's not the speech. This ain't it. And I'm a man of faith, right?
Right.
So I go down to the bathroom. I'm like, God, don't make me like, everybody is here. This is TEDx.
Right, this is major.
This is major. And he gave it to me. And that's where Audit Your Circle was born. In a bathroom in Atlanta, Georgia. Right? And I told my story about my parents and how they prepare me. They give me a lot of great foundation. Right. But there's some things that I always say this, they prepare me for a world that no longer exists. Right? So sometimes your parents are probably sometimes the first people to fire. Right? Because my parents didn't teach me about credit. They didn't teach me about financial literacy. They didn't teach me a lot of those things. They just taught me what they learned. I'm first generation. They came from Haiti. They was like, yo, listen, go get a college education and you'll be fine. Psych. Right. Right. That ain't it.
Ain't it no more.
That ain't it anymore. So they were the first people I had to fire and go find mentorships and people who were good in that space that can teach me that stuff. So Audit Your Circle was born in a bathroom in Atlanta, Georgia, 30 minutes before I got on that stage.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's the story behind TEDx.
That's so crazy because I was going to ask where did the Audit Your Circle thing came from.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that you got like a huge plan behind that because the way that you pushing it.
Right.
The Audit Your Circle thing. I thought you was going to have the shirt on today. I really thought you were.
Bro, it hit so much. I was like, yo, I formed the LLC, Audit Your Circle LLC. I trademarked it because it hit so much. I was like, oh, this is rolling. This is going to be my thing. And it's just been rolling for a year. And every time I wear the t-shirt. Yeah. I remember when I went back to Atlanta, I think Atlanta was playing the Dodgers in the NL Finals, and I forgot what baseball player was in the elevator with me. He's like, "That's high." He's like, "What does it mean?" And it's a great pitch for me to tell people.
Automatic, it gets you real.
Listen,
real
I'm like 400 people is on a commercial plane, but only 14 is on a private jet. Or there's your circle. Everybody can't take everybody with you.
Right.
Right. So. That's where it came, and that's where it's sticking. And
because it's a real ass slogan.
It's a real slogan.
You should definitely audit your circle
consistently, always, all the time. We in the fourth quarter right now. We got a couple weeks left in the year. Everybody ain't coming in 2023 with me.
Right.
And I'm okay with that. And you got to be okay with that too. That shift and that change if you want to continue to elevate.
Right.
You hungry?
Listen, man, I'm hungry.
It's time to eat. I'm ready to eat. Yeah, 100%.
Listen, y'all already know who it is. It's your boy Smooth.
It's your girl Amber Grand.
We got my man Herman Dolce still sitting here with us. We about to get into this food and we'll be right back. Let's go.
It's our favorite part of the show. That's your favorite?
Yes, sir.
Ah, chef, what you got cooking?
You already know.
Y'all already know what time it is. This is my favorite part of the show. It is time to get into that food. And today's chef, we have Chef Jenny with us.
Yes.
Thank you, Chef Jenny.
Yes, thank you for having me.
Listen, this meal looks wonderful.
Thank you.
It smells even better. I can't wait till they invent technology where though people can smell the things they see.
How?
Because if only they could smell the lamb chopping, you could smell the rosemary coming up off of it and the mashed potatoes. Ooh.
Yes.
Something special going on. So what's the name of your business again? Is it JCA?
Yes. So my business name is JCA.
JCA.
It's Jenny Cooks Experience.
Okay. That's major. Tell me about it.
Okay, so I started my business during the pandemic of 2021. I started off just in my condo, posting videos on Instagram, and people were asking me, where are you? I set up my food exactly like this. I usually put rose petals all around. So people was consistently asking like, where are you? Where are you? So a friend of mine had asked me to do a date night in my home because I have like big windows that overlook the city. And at first I was like, nah.
Right, nobody want nobody all in their house.
But restaurants were closed.
Right.
So she offered me $500 to do a date night in my home. So I took the date night due to the fact that I wasn't working as much as I
You need
was
that paper,
because
take that money, yeah.
So I did the first date night. I started off about 200 followers on Instagram. My girlfriend has a couple of thousand due to the fact that she's a baker. I woke up I did the date night for her. I woke up the next morning to like thousands of followers, wanting to know where she was and how,
To get that experience.
Yes.
And now here we are.
Now here we are.
That's amazing. So real quick, tell me about this meal you prepared for us.
Okay, so this is an Italian chicken, an Italian herb chicken, and I have some pan-seared Brussels here with a homemade mashed potato.
That look good. I like the thickness of that mashed potato. Talk about this lamb
And
chop.
this is the JCE signature lamb chops. It has the signature teriyaki sauce. I make that from scratch with asparagus and a homemade mashed potato.
I love some asparagus too.
Oh, well, good.
I think it's so undervalued out here these days, especially if they do it just right. So I'm gonna tell the world, you know what I'm saying, everything about it. So let them know how they reach you so they could get a meal or get, that JCE experience.
Okay, so I can be reached via Instagram at Jenny Per Usual, or you can reach me, Chef Jenny at jceexperiences.com.
Well, there you go. We got Chef Jenny. It's your boy Smooth. It's time to get back to the show. Let's go.
Thank you.
You already know who it is. It's your boy Smooth.
It's your girl, Amber Grand.
And we still here with my man Herman Dolce. And it's time we get into this food.
We're here for the best part.
It's looking good, ain't it?
Man, yeah, you set the new bar for me, because like if I go on another podcast and they're not carrying like this,
Like this,
with
right?
the private chef, like I don't know. I'm
We
gonna
try
let
to hit them different,
Yeah.
Especially when you got people like, Chef Jenny come through. She say, hit you with the...
Chef Jenny, the salad was good, so I know this
Right,
gonna
it
hit.
was
Yeah,
hitting.
so I know this gonna hit.
She had like custom-made breadcrumbs in the salad. Y'all don't even know, it's different when you got your
Cracked
own
pepper in it.
breadcrumbs. Yeah.
100%. Yeah.
So
Looking
she hit
forward
us
to
with
it.
the lamb chop. So, we about to get into this food, let you know how, Chef Jenny put it down. I'm going to go and start with the mash because, I'm a mash guy. That's good, too. I'm talking full of flavor.
Chicken
Sheesh.
is tender.
Damn.
That mash probably.
You know when you're a little surprised? That's gonna call you a little surprised. Good. Okay, chef.
That's so funny.
That
This is
thing
good.
That thing's special.
This is definitely not a box mashed potatoes. This is good.
That's the thing, somebody makes some good mash,
And you can tell.
it's different, boy, different. Especially because I don't even like no soupy mashed potatoes and all that. So I like some thick, chunky, fresh out the potato
Flavorful.
mashed potato.
Exactly.
Scraped it right out the skin.
Buttery too.
You can taste the butter, right?
Buttery.
Taste the butter too.
And the chicken is seasoned real good too.
Yeah, that lamb chop tender. The lamb is hitting.
Just right.
The lamb is hitting.
Just right.
So, shout out Chef Jenny. Make sure y'all get with her.
Jenny Per Usual.
Definitely worth it. But before we get left off, we were talking about audit your circle.
Right.
So, what are your plans with audit your circle? It seems like you've been going crazy with it. I seen you put on some sneakers. It's on some shirts. It's like a campaign going on.
It's like a campaign going on. The trademark is happening with it. Got the LLC.
Okay.
It's turned into like its own like brand situation, and it's the slogan for the business. And what else I loved about it is that it's actually taking my business to another level, because in order for you to get your credit together, in order for you to get your funding together, in order for you to structure your business together, your mind, you have to start thinking differently, right? You have to have different people around you. Like, you're gonna have to miss like 2-3 summers. Like, you know what I'm saying? Not just 2-3 weekends.
Right.
You're gonna have to
summer.
miss like 2-3 summers, and it takes special people around you that's gonna support you through that process. Like people who want to become a doctor, it takes 10 years.
Juicy asparagus.
Yo,
Oh, my bad.
it's ridiculous. It's gonna take some time for you to be in certain places, and you need the right people around you supporting you through that process.
Right.
Or are you gonna make me feel bad because I can't go to the club this weekend?
Yeah.
Right? Or I gotta stay in and I gotta study. You know what I'm saying? So like, I'm stepping down as CEO in December, at the end of December.
Stepping down?
Yeah, I'm stepping down.
Wow.
Because in order for me to elevate, Because remember when I hired Damaris and I was able to start the mentorship program because I had more time on my hands. So she's going to take over and run the day-to-day operations of the company because I got to pivot and learn new skills so I can continue to grow. But if my circle wasn't there, you know what I mean, to support my transition to the next level, then I'd be stuck. So auditing your circle at every level you are is truly important. And I think everybody needs to know the difference between, like, I'm going to stick with my day ones. There's a difference between sticking with your day ones, supporting your day ones, but also auditing your circle to know when it's time to go to the next level. And sometimes they can come with you and sometimes they can't. Right. But your real day ones are going to support you no matter what.
For sure.
And being from Philly, it's always that stigma of you a sellout if you start hanging with different people, or you're not hanging with your day ones, or you know what I mean, and you're a cornball, or you're not coming out, all you want to do is sit in the house and read. And
Right.
We got so many things that were like pinned against us. Right. All those things that you shouldn't do, all those things that made you corny, or all the things you should be doing.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like somebody tricked us.
Right.
We got tricked into this game, like to be the cool guy. Like, man, I ain't about to go hanging with these squares and all.
Right.
They the ones with all the knowledge. Yeah, you need to get around them.
Exactly. I think it's almost kind of like a slave mentality, where when I had a couple of people, I never had a lot of people like that in my life, but what I started to realize was that people like that are afraid. They're scared that they can't do what you can do, and they're afraid that you're gonna leave them behind.
There you go.
Right? So they're going to, knock your dreams down, say it can't be done. They got an opinion on something they've never done before. They'll never work. They're scared. They're putting their fears on your dreams. You know what I'm saying? And my dreams are for me. They're not for you to see. You don't need to see the vision. When it was given to me, it was for me.
Wasn't a billboard.
Right. So either you're going to support it or you're not. So I wouldn't be too mad at those people who, are usually bash the dream. It's because it wasn't for them or they're scared. But when it's their turn, I'm gonna be supportive. I'm gonna be like, you can do anything. If I can do it, you can do it.
Yeah. And your circle, even just that's the thing too, it's different circles. So you still got like your friend circle, you got your business circle,
got your family circle.
You got your family circle.
Right.
Your family circle is a business circle.
Right.
With the Rock Foundation and everything y'all got going on with that. Like, me and Kevin was talking about that, how you got, your whole family and everybody's going into different businesses together.
Right.
Putting
so
things
dope.
together. Yeah, that's super hard.
Everybody don't have that.
Yeah.
Right. So Rock Financial Group, we started that a little bit before the pandemic. And what we did is our brothers, like 13 of us, I consider them my brothers. We got together. I remember we started in my basement. We got the LLC together. And we was like, listen, everybody put up $2,000 each, right? Whether it's credit or whether it's cash. And let's go do some investments, right? We got our first property together. We took our first losses together. We made our first profits together as a brotherhood, and we learned it at the same time. And that actually brought us together because we was just doing the 9-to-5 game, but we wanted freedom too. Right. So we was like, let's pitch together, because 13 guys putting in 2,000 goes a lot farther than one guy putting in 2,000.
So y'all started with 26K.
26K.
What was the first move y'all made?
Investment property.
An investment property.
An investment property, yeah.
How did it play out?
It was a loss.
It was a loss?
It was a loss. I'm not gonna sit here and kept on the gram.
Was it too many people on one deal?
No, it wasn't that. We invested in something that wasn't good, right? So that was a 26K tuition. Right. Again, that's what it was. It was tuition, right? There's no losses. There's just lessons. Exactly. So the next time we invested in something together as a group, it was a win. You know what I'm saying? And then every time we invest in something together, it's a learning process. So it's never a loss for us, and we've all elevated. And then at the same time, a lot of us in the group, that was their first time ever doing business. So then after that, everybody was like, oh, I learned something. Let me start my own thing. And everybody started their own thing.
And everybody got their
own LLCs. Like, shout out to my man Greg. He started his own software testing community. My man Ty, he started a trucking company. Then he started a phone repair company. My man Ian Fitz, they started their own wholesaling company. And then they started doing real estate in Philly, multi-family, so they doing good. So everybody went off and started doing their own thing. My man Joey became a mechanic, learned his own situation there. Like everybody branched off because they took the lesson, right, and turned it into a win. So before you can earn, you have to learn.
You got to learn.
Yeah.
Yeah, I seen that. Take the L off.
Take the L off. Yeah, exactly.
That's major. And it's like, you know, you would think to take a loss your first go round, 26K down the drain, that would deter. You know, that would deter a lot of people, tear the group apart. It's so hard nowadays just to get, you know, that little start off with 5 people. You're talking about 13 people.
13 people, yeah.
That's crazy.
Crazy.
That's hard to do.
I know I got something special.
Yeah.
I know what I got is not normal.
Yeah, y'all carrying.
I know it's weird. We all got the rock chains and we do everything together. We go on vacation together.
Cool.
So I know I got something special because the group is so big, but it's turned into something wonderful. I'm very blessed by it. So shout out to my brothers. I love them very much, and I am who I am because they on my line. Like when we took a time out, they FaceTime, the group FaceTime. They's like, where you at? I was like, I'm in West. I'm doing this video, and so we all love each other. We all look out for each other.
That's major, man.
100%.
Y'all gotta. I think y'all gotta like put that more to the forefront a little bit.
Right.
Like I know how you and Kev get down. Y'all definitely give off the, you know, successful brother vibes.
Right.
And, you know, he build the business, you funding the business.
Right.
It's like it's a cornerstone.
It's
like
a
you know what I
cornerstone,
mean?
yeah.
Y'all a staple now. It's a thing.
It's not the first time I've heard
brothers.
it's not the first time I've heard that the brotherhood is crazy. People are like, yo, you guys need to do a lifestyle situation because you guys are always together. Because whenever I post us together in my DMs, everybody be like, yo, what you have is so special. So I get the reminder all the time. So shout out to my guy E. He just turned 30. And then we got box seats and we took him to the Sixers game and it was just an experience, right? It was really dope. And then a couple people in my DM, you got box seats? I was like, yeah, my man turned 30.
Yeah.
Like, so we're gonna do this right. We're gonna do it right because the losses that we took were 5 years ago. So we learned a lot over the time. We've made money together. So it's nothing for us to chip in together. Put my man in a box seat.
Right.
His fiance helped surprise him. She brought him to the game. We got a couple of bottles and we did it right.
That's hard.
Right. Again, audit in the circle.
Yeah, audit just circle, man.
And I think the teamwork makes the dream work thing
100%.
is major. 'Cause especially like in our culture, I feel like a lot of people want to be like man for themselves. They don't. A lot of people don't want to team up because they feel like, oh, it's got to be me. But they don't realize like the beauty in that.
Yeah.
And the team, I think it's so key having the right team.
around
That's
you.
why I like that you pitched that because I don't think it was magnifying as much as it should have been. Like everybody always say, like you gotta stop hanging with them dudes, or you keep hanging around with them, you're gonna end up like
Be
this.
one of them.
It's just, you know what I mean? That's always the thing. But when you say audit your circle, now it's a better pitch. It's not just stay away from the bad folks. It's get around some good folks.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Now it's a different look at it.
It's a different look.
You get what I'm saying? Because
And
now
then
you
you
like,
bring-
now I need to bring certain people to my circle. Not just get people out.
Not get rid of the day
That
ones. Be like, yo,
part.
let me bring you back the game. Yo, I just learned something crazy. They go, what? I'm like, yo, da-da-da-da-da. And it worked. And then so now everybody elevates, so we all win. Because like Rick Ross says, if you're not feeding your day ones, your homies, they're gonna turn into wolves and they're gonna eat you. If you're the only one eating. Because one thing about my circle, if I'm doing something, we're gonna take the wins together and we're gonna take the losses together. There's nothing I'm doing that I'm not sharing it with them to give them the opportunity so that nobody ever feel left out. So if I made $1 million and you didn't, it's on you.
Right.
It ain't because I ain't give you the game or give you the opportunity.
I'm giving it out.
Because I'm giving it out,
right.
yeah. So you have to be willing to take the losses and take the wins with your circle.
So speaking of giving out the game, I know we had Dare here. Kevin did it as well. 30 seconds. Once you break down the credit play on how somebody can get to a bag. 30 seconds, how can they get to a bag?
First place to get to a bag, I always tell people I can get you $50,000 before your boss can pay you $50,000, before you can invest $50,000, or before you can make $50,000 on your own. And how I do that is I tell people you got to get the lending, right? So here's how you're gonna get $50,000 real quick, right? $50,000 real quick. You're gonna get yourself an LLC. You have to positively do that, right? LLC, get yourself an EIN. You're gonna take those documents. You're gonna go to a credit union first, right? Credit unions give out a bigger bag than Bank of America, then Wells Fargo, and then Chase, right? Those are great institutions, but go to your credit unions first. Which credit unions do I go to, Herman? You're gonna go to anyone that is in your zip code. So you're gonna go to Google Maps, you're gonna type in credit unions and your zip code. right? It's gonna pull up 1020 in your zip code first. You're gonna call the first 3 on there and be like, hey, Herman Dolce, I have an LLC, I got a business, I'd like to open up a business checking and a business savings account. You can come on in. You wanna pick a bank that pulls from Equifax, one from TransUnion, and one from Experian, 3 separate ones, right? So when you get a bag from the first one, the second bank don't know that you got a bag, right? So that's how you maximize it. So you run that play, say for instance on the low end, you go to each different bank, you open up the checking account, put $50 in each account, and you ask them for money, right? Credit gotta be 680 and above. That first bank gonna give you 10, second bank gonna give you 10, third bank gonna give you 10. You just raised $30,000, 0% interest on one Saturday morning. And how you flip the bag, that's on you.
Ooh, he just gave you the play right there.
Play.
A 30K play.
30K play.
30K play in 30 seconds.
Yeah,
30 seconds.
30K play in 30 seconds.
See, now I got my next reel. I appreciate you. I appreciate you.
That's major.
That's major.
That's super major.
Super doable,
Right.
too.
It's super doable. And that's how, when we and my guys first got together, you know, I'm like, it's like 2,000, I ain't got that. I was like, all right, this is what y'all do. And everybody got like a $5,000, $10,000 card. So there was nothing for them.
You got that too.
Everybody had the bread to chip in. Yeah.
That's
so it was a
super
blessing.
wild, man.
Definitely.
So, you told me you wrote 2 more books.
Yes.
Are those books out yet?
So they're coming out.
Okay.
I'm really excited about it.
Tell me about it.
So the first book is co-authored by my daughter, Bella Sloan.
Oh, wow.
Dope, super hard.
The other book is co-authored by my second born, Olivia Monroe. So what I have learned in this journey is that I'm very, very simple. Because you know, when you're in the rabbit hole, you're in a circle, you think everybody know what you know already, right? So whenever I talk about business credit or credit, you know, I think everybody knows about it, but you be really surprised who don't.
Right.
So it's always new gems to them. So I feel like I'm telling the same old things over and over again. So that's the first lesson. The second thing that I've learned is that the financial literacy that I know now, the wealthy, they taught their children that game. I'm talking to adults right now about business credit. And there's that other side of wealth. 8, 9, 10-year-olds, they already got their LLC. They know the game.
Right.
So the 2 books that we got coming out is Bella Gets Business Credit. So it's a children's book.
Wow.
Teaching children. So it's like she's getting her lemonade stand. She got the business funding to go buy the sugar, the limes and all that stuff. She didn't pay her bills on time, so her credit dropped and her business credit went down. And we taught her how to get the vendors to pay for the products, and you pay the vendors back, and now you got your profit. So it's a great business. It's a great book coming out in 2023. I'm super excited about it. And then Olivia Monroe, you know, Olivia does credit. So this is a ABC book, right? So A is for APR, B is for business credit, C is for credit card, D is for debt to income. So we're going down the whole ABCs, right? And it's attached to credit. So kids are gonna learn about credit. So those 2 books are coming out, and I'm super excited.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's breaking generational curses right there.
I don't think you understand how serious that's the way I see it in my head. Man,
yeah,
that's major.
It's major. I'm excited about that.
That's
so shout
major.
out to my team,
That's
Savvy.
gonna be bananas.
It's gonna be amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What made you think about that? What made you like, you know, I'm about to do a credit, you know, book for kids?
For kids, because I caught myself, because my daughters always be the office. The man cave is the office, right? I got a home office, and the kids be down there. And like, they always like, what are you doing? Because I'm in front of that laptop, in front of that ring cam. Yeah, you need to get your credit right. It's like, Daddy, what are you doing? I'm on take 3, right? And I'll be like, come here, come sit on my lap. And, you know, I'm boring them, but they ask a question, so I'm going to answer them. I was like, okay, so Daddy's doing this, and this is your LLC. And Bella knows how to read her name. She's like, oh, that's my name. And I'm like, well, that's your business name, right? I want you to own your name. So another tip out there. So my name is Herman Dolce. So I own my name as a business, too. So I created an LLC that says Herman Dolce. And there's an EIN connected to that, too.
Right.
So there's a Herman Dolce personal side, and there's a Herman Dolce business side. So I'm teaching my daughter that. I'm like, you need to have a business with your name on it. And Olivia's like, well, I want one too. And she said right there, I'm like, well, you have one too.
Right.
So I'm literally pulling up their EINs and showing it to them. And then it dawns on me that I bet you the wealthy had this same conversation. Because my father didn't have it with me because he didn't know.
Right.
Right?
Exactly.
So So I was like, so the light went off in my head. I called up Savvy. She's an amazing partner to Bella Sloan, just helps us out with all this stuff. And she made that vision come to light. And when I saw the first drafts of the book, I was like, yo, we got to hit.
Is it? Yeah.
And the rest is history. So the flashcards are going to come out. And here's what happened with these books, right? Who's reading the books to the kids?
The adults.
Adults.
So
Right.
So they get in the game too.
They get in the game too, yeah.
I love
Whole
that.
time they act like they teaching the baby.
They're teaching the baby.
They really bought it for them.
They trying to figure it out, yeah.
That's an income.
Yeah.
Let me go to the
30%,
glossary
yeah.
what that means. Yeah. And that's exactly what's in it. And the back is going to be a glossary. Because say for instance, the parent doesn't know what debt to income means. If they go to the glossary, the glossary is going to have what debt to income means.
Yeah, that's super
I
crazy.
love that. I love that.
I think it's
really bad.
I know for a fact it's going to sell out. One, you already
sure.
the go-to guy for credit. So now it's like, and the name of the game right now is generational wealth. It is teaching your kids. You know what I'm saying? So everything is about changing the name of the game. Like, you know, changing those things that we've been doing. Like, can't keep doing them the same way. That's insane.
That's insane.
You know what I'm saying? You're going to keep getting the same results. Kids growing up, already in debt. They got the credit card, 18 at college, and they already in the hole, already OT mobile.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, and it's the same
OT-mobile.
shit over and over again.
Yeah.
But now you get to change that when you start off so young and you know these things.
Can you imagine?
ahead of the game.
Can you imagine Bella's in college or Olivia's in college and they got an 18-year-old LLC and I'm telling them, yo, go to T-Mobile and tell them to put the cell phone in your business name instead of getting your personal name. Right. So like I'm changing the whole situation for them. Yeah, they getting their first car at 21 because they got an old LLC and it's in their business name. So it's like
You already got old credit from the rip.
Exactly. It's curtains. And what else I'm doing right now is, so how I write off a lot of my trips and stuff like that, I take my girls with me. We went to Disney World. I put on a Audit Your Circle t-shirt. I take pictures of them, right? Now guess what they are? They're my models. So that I have to pay my models. So I put money in my kids' business account, right? Their business checking account. So they're getting revenue, right? And they're building credit that way too with the banks. So when they get older, it's 18 years of me putting money in there. They have that relationship with the bank. So when they go in there, be like, hey, you see I've been making $5,000 a month, $2,000 a month, whatever. Right. Here's my taxes for my business. Yeah. I need some money. So at 18 years old, my kids can go and get 100,000. At 18 years old, can your kid go get 100? Right. Right? So I'm gonna teach you that blueprint now.
And that's what we need to be, man. We need to be in a place where everybody can go ahead and get that head start.
Get that head start.
Because that's what messes us up is the fact that every child start off damn near fending for themselves.
Yeah, exactly.
From the rip. You come out 18, you're still a baby.
Still a baby.
Now you trying to figure all this stuff out. Nobody told you anything.
In school, they don't even teach you the stuff you need.
To.
I feel like the curriculums are going to change in school.
100%. They have to, or else we're all going to drown. But sometimes, Wall Street Trapper said this story. He's like, why don't they teach this stuff in school? He's like, because the financial predators don't want to teach you the game because they eat off of you. Why would they teach you? Right. The lion is never going to tell the zebra how to escape.
Big fat.
So some things will make it in school, some of them won't.
Right.
So my job is to make sure as many people learn this information as possible.
Somebody to eat off of.
Yeah, you need somebody to eat off of. Yeah.
So what other major things do you have going on for 2022, 2023
at this point, yeah. So here's what's crazy. One crazy thing, right? Is December 2022. If you are not planning for 2024, you're behind. All right, let's just keep it at me. All right. So what I got coming for 2023, to be honest, is two important things. Number one, collaboration. Haitian CEO has done a lot alone, right? I've gotten mentors and they've taken me far. Right. But I did a couple of collabs this year that have made me a lot of money, right? So, and has given me even more, because remember, money is freedom to me. So I want to give myself more freedom. So I'm doing a lot more collaborations with other people in my space, right? Because there's plenty to eat, right? I could sit down with another business credit person and do something, you know what I'm saying?
Major, right.
And do something major. So I'm going to be partnering with some other people that are in my space. Can't say it out loud yet. Contracts ain't signed. The wire ain't hit yet. But so collaboration is going to be super important to help out the population, because we definitely believe in income and impact. Right, so we want to do both things, and so that's major. You're going to be collab with a lot of people. The second thing is learning new skills, right? To make more money. One thing I'm definitely gonna do now. Shout out to my guy Knots and shout out to my guy Quay. They're literally teaching our people how to print their own money through the stocks. So learning the skills with stocks is going to be super, super important to me. So right now, you know, I dance on Instagram. I dance on these ads to make a couple of dollars from y'all. You know what I'm saying? But what if I can sit in front of a computer, you know what I mean, learn this skill of day trading or short or long-term investments on my own. And listen, I remember I went to dinner with Knots, right? Knots Don't Fold. Shout out to the WGO family. We sitting at dinner. My man is fried. And he's showing me his receipts from his mentees. Because there's one thing of showing receipts, but when your mentees are doing it, that's a different level of receipt, right? And I'm like, wow, that's really exciting. So the next morning, he texts me at 9 a.m. He made like a quick 5 figures. Sheesh. And he screenshot it and showed me the receipts. He's like, yo, this is what we do in my group. And I was like, I need to learn that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So he's perfected it so he's mitigating his risk so it's not risky. Because he's like, I don't gamble. He's like, I know this. So right, he got it down to a science. So I'm auditing my circle. I need to be around people like that. I paid for his mentorship. So January 1st, 90 days, I'm gonna be like this, learning that. Right. Because I'm gonna learn how to print my own money too. And then you bring that to my what? To my circle.
Good.
Love that.
You know what I'm saying? So by next summer, next winter, you know what I'm saying? My team is printing 10, 15 bands a month and everybody's up. Jeez. So it looks different.
Real
you know what I'm
different.
saying? It looks absolutely real different. So those are the two major things that I'm going to be doing in 2023. Continue to elevate my circle and continue to do more collaborations so we can get the word out to more people. Because you'd be surprised how many people don't know this game.
That's major. And it's so crazy that you said that about the day trading because I was trying to get into that too. I was like, man, I'm looking. So many dudes popping up on my Instagram, but I already knew these things. Like, you know, when I was in high school, I used to even do like the little mock stock trading. They had a little game where you trade stocks for free. But I'm like, I need to learn this.
You need to learn
It's so major. Like you said, it's really like printing money. And it's day trading. Some of these dudes make this bag in a day.
Yo, in and out. He's like, yo, Herm, probably like 9 to 10, 9 to 11 the longest. And he's in and out. I'm like, bro, for real? And I've seen him do it so much. I've seen Quay do it so much. I've seen their mentees do it so much. I'm like, I'm tripping.
Yeah, like to not be in it, it's crazy. To not be in it is
crazy. So that's why I said Damaris is taking over. So that's going to free up more of my time because my time is money. It's really valuable. So, and then for 90 days, I'm just studying. Studying because I got to learn a new skill.
I gotta learn too, man.
And dump that money back in my business and grow the business even more. So
make everything 10x.
Make everything 10x.
Yeah, that's major.
So 2023 gonna be major. I'm really excited about it.
Well, listen, man, we definitely gonna be looking forward to seeing those books.
Yeah.
Whatever, whoever you team up with, I'm looking forward to seeing that as well. I'm probably gonna have to give up my 10K.
Yeah.
We can work something out.
I gotta get up in there, man. Gotta get my stuff right too. Need some business funding.
But listen,
You know
the men. That's just the one-on-one. We got mentorships. There are 1,000. Like the Facebook group is lit. We do monthly coaching calls because anybody got 10K. Right. So we for 1K, you're in the mentorship group, and we teach you how to fix your own credit. Because to fix your credit, we charge you $1,000, or you could just pay for the mentorship and you learn how to do it. Right. We teach you how to start your own credit repair company. We teach you how to start your own funding company. We have coaching calls every month, right, where we give new game because information changes. So like the videos I did a year ago, they probably not up to date anymore. So it's good to continue to tap in. Right. So every month we do that. We have a corporate credit course where we meet every single week because some people want to get business not in their personal name, not co-signing, but just in a business name using EIN. Right. But all that's coming and it's available for everybody so they can tap in.
That's major, man. Out here changing the world one credit score at a time.
One credit score at a time.
I hear that, man. Yeah. Listen, I'm going to order my circle, get my credit right. We're going to do some big things.
I appreciate you. Smooth, I appreciate you.
Listen, Herman Dolce.
I appreciate you. Thank you so much for having me today.
Credit King himself, the Haitian CEO. Make sure y'all follow him. Tap in, guys. Tap in. Like, we do this to give the knowledge to the people. Use it. Tap in. I hope everybody, got a little something from this, learn a little bit. You already know who it is. It's your boy Smooth.
It's your girl Amber Grand.
We got Herman Dolce, CEO Bella Sloan, and we out of here.
Talk to you soon.